Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantel Francis, here to talk to you about another fantastic episode of Love Island UK Season 7. Now, before we get into this delicious mess, please do us a favor here at Reality Realness and subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you know every time we go live. And we go live every day, at least 2 times a day, I'd say. Well, no, at least once a day, but usually twice a day. So it starts off this episode. It's the fallout of the recoupling ceremony. I guess it's part 2. And we see Faye. She pulls over Sam for a chat, and Sam is the guy that she just recoupled with. But now she realizes, though, that Teddy came back with intentions of being with her. So she's starting to think that maybe she made a mistake, but she's very, she never wants to back down. She doesn't want to look stupid. She has a lot of pride. So she's definitely tippy-toeing around the idea of getting back with Teddy. So she talks to Sam and says, like, wow, I was like borderline rude. And Sam gives it back to her a little bit. It's like, well, yeah, no, you are rude. Like that's your style, but I like it. Hi, Netha. Hi. What an episode. And the trailer for the next episode, I'm just like, what? We'll get there. We will get there. How are you doing today, Netha, though? Did you enjoy this episode as much as I did? Okay, so she does mention to Sam that she needs some time right now, some space. You know, she needs to talk to Teddy. She needs to see where her head's at, you know, with how she was feeling about the postcard. That's one of the reasons why she allowed herself to open up and get to know Sam, and that's why she picked him. But now knowing that she might have jumped the gun here, she's kind of wanting to just let Sam know that I very well may go back to Teddy because the circumstances are different than I was originally thinking. So I think that's a pretty sure thing that she has intention of going back to Teddy. Hi, Miss Love. Thanks for joining. I'm good. The Love Island producers have definitely been listening to us. Well, they've been like, oh, wait, they hate this season. They think it sucks. Let's fix that. Thank you. It's now, honestly, it flipped around to be, it's one of the better seasons now. Like, I think it's rivaled with season 5, season 4, season 3. Like, all of the seasons that I really loved. This is good now. Like, woo. Hi, Sam. So the trailer has me confused. Does Chloe want to be with Toby now? Does Tyler want to be with Kaz again? I mean, I'm sure that Chloe's going to say something to the effect of, I never just switch my feelings off from Toby. And she'll want to maybe be chosen again out of all the women. So I can see her and her ego wanting to maybe rekindle something with him. But from like the trailer, the preview right after the episode, just like kind of sneak peek of what's going to be happening next, when it shows like Mary, then it shows Abby, and then it shows, but he might still have feelings for Chloe. And Tyler needs to step off. I'm so not happy with him. We'll get to it. Hi, Lee. I'm listening to you on your evening walk. Where are you for it to be evening? Or I guess, oh, maybe, wait, where is in the future right now? Evening, it's 2 p.m. Could be 6 p.m. somewhere, like on the East Coast. Well, thank you for listening, though, Lee. But where are you? So I know where you're calling from or listening from. So Netha says Toby wants Chloe. Chloe wants Toby. Tyler wants to get to know both Kaz and Clarice, and Kaz is having none of it. Thank you, Kaz, for laying it down, because I loved when Kaz was like, you sold me a dream and it was a lie. And it's like, that is true. He sold you a dream and it was a lie. So we see Mary and Toby chatting, and I'm just like, why is Toby even pretending like he's a good guy and that he did the right thing? Because Mary's just like, well, why would Abby stay single unless she thought that there was something sort of like there was a relationship with you that was a possibility that you would come back single to work on with her? Why would she do that? Which is a very good question. Why would she do that? I didn't understand why Abby did it also, but to Mary's point, it must have been for the fact that she thought that there was something more there than Toby was admitting there actually was. Right? He made his. Hold on. Oops, I missed one. Hold on. Oh, you live in the UK. Okay, yeah, of course. 6 hours, 5 hours. Of course, it's 7 p.m. Of course it is. Of course it is. My dad is from London, and my cousins still live there. So I was planning on going to visit them because I have a cousin that's, well, he's a baby now. He's probably like 4 years old now that I've never met. And so before COVID happened, I was going to go and spend a summer in London because I haven't been there in years. I used to go when I was a little, but I haven't been in forever. So yes, of course, London is 5 hours ahead right now. Silly me, silly me. Okay, to be fair to Toby, he did not end things with Chloe. Chloe ended things with him for talking to Abby. But Toby didn't stop him. Toby's like, well, what do you want? And he's like, well, I don't know. She's like, what do you want, Toby? And he's like, oh, I don't know what I want. Like, he never said what he wanted. And so she's like, well, if you don't know what you want, that's it. That's a sign that you do not want me. It's not enough for you to say, I want you or I want Abby. So him being wishy-washy made her be like, wishy-washy is not 100% for me. So I don't feel like fair to Toby. Toby's a mess to me. Ooh, I'm seeing like the rainbow of death on my computer. Terrifies me. Okay, it's gone. Like, I probably froze for a second. Sorry. Oh, probably frozen again. I don't know. My computer's just driving me crazy. That's why all these super chats that you guys are sharing with me, I'm so thankful for, because I really want to use them to get a new computer. This one, it's not that old. It's maybe 5 years, but with all like the video footage and like it just the ability to keep up with all the technology that I need to use it for. So thank you for anybody that sends a super chat. That's how it's going to be supporting the channel right now, is for a new computer so I can not have freezing live streams. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't even through questions because my mouse is frozen. And I agree. Okay, so now I understand what you're saying, Sam. So yeah, I think that he made his mind, being like he wasn't choosing Chloe. He was choosing to leave it up in the air so that Chloe felt like he needed to make a decision. This is really slow. Hi, Dakota. Thanks for joining us. Does Love Island UK actually listen to the vote? Because the US does not, and it's getting annoying. On the US side, the bottom does not even go home. They just let the Islanders pick. Are going to be taught one of the things that I'm furious about, because it's making it more a game, and it's not like the whole element of having. I wonder if my computer's going to freeze out. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me at this moment. I don't know what, I'm not sure what could be heard. You know what, maybe I'm gonna, okay. So yeah, I hope that Love Island UK, like they started the show, and like it's all about the public vote, and like that's what creates a lot of the drama most of the time, is like who gets dumped and like who the audience isn't resonating with, and it's usually a really telltale sign of what's going on in the villa and what the guys are doing or the girls are doing at CASA AMOR, is by how the audience ends up voting for them after. They do sometimes make the audience, the Islanders pick between two people, but not every vote. Like, you guys pick for this guy, you guys pick for that guy. Like, no, it's like the bottom couple's dumped, and then maybe another couple gets saved by the Islanders, or you know what I mean? But like the dumping usually happens by the people that get the least votes. So the fact that there haven't been doing it in the US has been actually infuriating for somebody that really loves the show and like was trying to really get behind the UK version or the US version. And people are like, it's so good, it's so good. Like these are specific reasons why it's not as good. Oh my god, this though, the freezing is like not where it's at. Okay, let me see if I can close some programs. Sorry guys, appreciate you. I work as an actor as well, so I was uploading a bunch of auditions, so that could be why everything is not working. Just see if I close my editing software. That'll help. I mean, it seems a bit better. Let's do that too. Okay, hopefully I'm good to go. At worst, I might have to like go and restart my computer. Okay, so back to these comments here. So Teddy's cooking pissed me off about Kaz. She should be single for you and feel bad. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Let me get through this episode because I was furious at this point, but I'm like, I like Faye, so I'm not going to be super mad at Teddy here, but he pissed me off. So yeah, Mary and Toby have their little thing, and she's right to feel a little bit insecure about like her standing there with Toby, because it's like, why is Abigail still there? And he kind of is insinuating, how would you feel if she was still interested in pursuing me? And she's not really okay with that, which she shouldn't be, because like you were supposed to be choosing her, not choosing to be in a love triangle. So I'd be pissed if I was Mary, but like I also would never ever would have chosen Toby. Like she just probably wanted to get into the villa, but Toby's not where it's at. I got some tea to sip, actually, because I'm British. It's Earl Grey. My favorite kind of tea. Earl Grey. I like making a London fog with like some vanilla and steamed almond milk. Just saying, delicious. So we see Tyler going for a chat with Kaz. And so this was the chat that we've already kind of been talking about. Tyler didn't seem to want to go, like to understand where Kaz was coming from. He's like, yeah, and like you see how this is, yeah. And I was like, even how he was doing it was like trying to downplay his participation in making her look like an idiot. Like he's like, well, you came with somebody else, and I'm just like, whoa. Like she's like, I slept on the sofa every night until I saw the postcard, and then I decided to sleep in my bed. She's like, if she reiterates, if I never saw those postcards, I would have been standing here looking like an idiot. Would that have been a better position for me to be standing in? And like, she was just not letting him have it. She's like, he's saying like, she asked him like the first night, he said the first night he tried so hard. And he's like, did you try to sleep on another bed? I heard that there's a free bed. Like he just had no legs to stand on. And I don't know why he's trying to get out of it. Just be like, listen, like I realized that I said all these things to you and I believed them in the moment, but then I was intrigued by this new person and we were just in such early stages. I just assumed that you also would have found somebody else and maybe tried to work towards something. I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that I sold you a lie there, but in the moment when I said it, I was being truthful. What's so hard about that? I don't know. I don't know what's so hard about him just apologizing. She's like, I slept on the sofa with Liberty. Like, that's what she did. And he's like trying to make it seem like she's like equally as bad as her. And he's like, put yourself in my shoes. And she's like, I was in your shoes and I chose something different. Yes. She's like, did you bargain to sleep on the daybed? Because we know that Teddy and Jake end up sleeping on the daybed. Like, did you bargain? Did you try to get it? Why didn't they sleep on? There must have been a couch there somewhere. Like, why was it that you had to sleep in the bed with Clarice on the first night? Well, he said the first night he didn't, but I guess maybe they cuddled. I can't remember now, but he's a mess. I was super angry. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, not do that. Like, he's just gaslighting her, making her feel like she wasn't supposed to be having any sort of emotional reaction to the fact that he mugged her off, basically. I was just so angry. And and one thing that she was catching him saying, he was like, are you about to say that the boys made me do it? And she's like, don't you, if you, I think you're about to say this. And I think he was going to say like, and the boys did make him do it. I'd say Jake really was like pushing everybody, like, just do it. You guys are not together for that long. Like, you're free. It's CASA AMOR, lads vacation. And he was really, really stoking that fire, Jake. So she's like, you fed me bullshit. She's like, I would have looked like a dickhead standing there waiting for you while you cracked on with another girl. And she's like, if it was so genuine, why didn't you walk in here by yourself? And that is just it. Like, it wasn't genuine. Or if it was genuine, he would have had a different reaction to her. He'd be like, I'm really sorry, it was genuine. But when I met her, there was something that I wanted to explore. And I'm really sorry that I misled you. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. I'm not in support of Toby at all. He's an idiot who thinks he could use people to figure out his own emotion. Even his own sister was calling him out on After the Sun. I haven't watched After Sun. I haven't been watching on the extra stuff. How was Unseen Bits this week? Was it entertaining? Who was on it? I feel like there was something interesting that was on it, but I haven't watched it yet. At this point, hi, Jessica. Toby's just entertainment for me. I can't be mad for any girls that deal with him because he has showed himself so many times now. Absolutely. Toby, you be as messy as you want to be. I'd rather you be messy now because, like, before you were selling lies, but now his true colors are completely out there. So anybody that wants to participate, I 100% agree with you, Jessica. They know what they're dealing with. And so I can't feel sorry for them. I'll just be like, you do you, Toby. You are a mess. But I'd rather your mess than Hugo. Did we even see him this episode? There's one time we saw Hugo, and it's when, at the end of the episode, he gives Liam a hug. That's it. We didn't see nothing more about Hugo's storyline. It appears that the UK defo listens to the viewers more than US. I don't even know why they ask the viewers to vote if they're just going to keep Jeremy in. Yes, Timmy and myself were like texting back and forth during the episode, and like we're both just furious. I'm very angry. Hi, Sans. Thanks for joining us. I agree about Teddy. I'm talking about Kaz. He lost points in my book. Me too. The guys seem not to understand. Kaz is mad because Tyler fed her a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, like, don't have an opinion, please, Teddy. Hi, Felicitas. Thanks for joining us. I wouldn't be surprised if Toby said to Moore that he wants Amy or Kaz or Millie I agree. At this point, any girl who invests emotions into him is on her own. Absolutely. He's so messy. Like, if you want to get involved in that mess, go right ahead. I'll be happy to watch him break your heart or whatever. The guys love to excuse each other's behavior all the time. Y'all are friends, but come on. Yeah, no, they're mugs. Like, they're not good. Are you planning on doing a reaction to the dating show on HBO Max? It's actually been pretty good so far, very diverse. Dakota, yes. I've watched the first episode, and I plan on watching the second 2 episodes. I just have to think of when I can do it. Maybe I'll do episode 1, 2, and 3 tomorrow. Let me talk to Tamika and see if she wants to do it with me. But yeah, I think I will get that up. I wish that they didn't drop it 3 episodes at a time because the commitment of watching 3 hours and then knowing that I'm going to be doing like probably a 2-hour podcast about it. It's just a lot of commitment. But it's something that I'm interested in because I do cover the Bachelor series as well. And it's kind of like a mix of all these worlds. So it is very diverse. It is an interesting concept too. And Nikki Glaser is quite funny. Tyler was hoping that Kaz would be on his own when he came back, so he could just juggle both and her and Clarice. He knew that Kaz was into him, so believed that she would be Akira. Oh my gosh! Not with him bringing her back though. I don't think that anybody would really be Akira bringing her back like that. Like, who does she think she is? Like, oh, like, I like you too. I like both of you. I want to bring you back so I can bang you both. Like, it's just like not where it's at, Tyler. Tyler claims to be a lawyer, but after that argument, I don't think so. Kaz was running circles around him. I hope Kaz is done with him fully. Well, I think that she was able to run circles around him because he knows that what he did was morally unsound. And I think that he was trying to still save face instead of just being completely honest. So he was trying to make it appear like he was doing the right thing, but I think he knows deep down that he wasn't. I agree. Netha, Kaz is more intelligent than that. She's not going to. She doesn't like looking stupid. Tyler wanted Kaz as his backup option. That's so brutal. F you, Tyler. Jake needs to be exposed in the Twitter challenge. Yes, and that's what I love is that the UK version is not going to hide these truths. They're going to share it with Jake that we think he's playing a game, that he is not there for liberty, that he pushed those guys into these relationships so that he looks like the golden boy. There's a little bit of an instance at the end where Liberty got a sneak peek that maybe Jake isn't as saintly as he's appeared to be. Because when Millie comes back from her meeting with Lillie, she says that all the guys weren't being faithful or weren't being good guys. And she's like, all of them? So I'm sure that this episode, Liberty might ask Millie a little bit more by what Lillie might have meant for that, but about that. Wow, can't talk. Hi, Anna. I honestly don't think Tyler had any sort of plan. I think Tyler thought that because she coupled up with somebody, he was going to be like, we did the same thing. We both coupled up. Like, what's the big deal? But she's like, no. This is not how the situation went. He still doesn't, hence why he can't get a straight answer. Yeah, he had no plan. I think he was surprised by her reaction because she coupled up. And so he was probably thinking that, oh, like I'm in the clear now. She coupled up. So like, I'm not the big, an asshole. You're still an asshole. Kaz has put a spanner in Tyler's game plan. Tyler, you cannot win the show. There's no chance that you'll win the show. You will stick with Clarice and you will get dumped. That is just facts. How do you guys think Clarice feels? Like, she's not involved in any of this drama. She comes and she breaks up this couple, whatever, relationship. Kaz doesn't really care about her, whatever. But like, I haven't really even seen them hanging out or talking or whatnot. I wonder how she's feeling about, like, I don't know, just being part of this love triangle, but like not really being a part of it. Toby is a joke, but we're standing Toby right now because like, at least he's giving us some entertainment. And we're saying that because he's shown who he is, if people don't believe that and they think that they can change him or she would be different, we have no sympathy. Unseen Bitch showed Matt and Kaz's relationship and how she was interested before the postcard, but wasn't doing anything about it. That's nice to hear. Okay, good. And showed Tyler and Kaz's interactions prior to Casa Amor. Okay. And how was that? Was he selling her even more of a dream than they showed us on the actual show? Tyler probably thought Kaz was going to react like she did with Toby. Tyler has not even said what he likes about Clarice, just said that she's good looking. And Clarice says that they haven't really had that many conversations. He's just been super excited that he gets to like make out with her. Boring. So Liberty and Kaz have a chat after this conversation, and Kaz still has feelings. For the damn boy Tyler. Like, I know you don't just shut these feelings off, but like, it would just be such a turnoff for me. The fact that like we coupled up, you've told me all these things, and then you go and you find some other girl to be kissing up and making out with and telling her maybe similar dreams. It's just like, I just would be so like, it just is kind of gross to me. Oh, and this is the point where I was pissed at Teddy. Teddy's talking to the guys and Tyler about the situation. And Teddy is saying that Tyler has a right to be mad at her. What? Tyler has a right to be mad at her because of the fact that Kaz came in with a guy? Like, I'm sorry. N-O? Like, so it would only be, he would only feel sorry for Kaz if she was standing there by herself. She chose Matthew in that moment because she didn't want to stand there by herself and looking like somebody pathetic that's waiting for a guy that doesn't want her. Like, F off, Teddy. Like, the only reason why I didn't cancel Teddy in that moment is because I think Faye really likes him. But like I was ready to get pissed at Teddy, and I was like, I'm not going to think about this anymore because I'm so furious by that kind of mentality that she should be standing looking pathetic by herself, and that is the only way that you're going to feel sorry for her and think that Tyler did anything wrong. No. N-O, Teddy. N-O-N-O. I was very mad. I was very mad many times in this episode, which is great because I love feeling emotions. Netha really hopes that Kaz and Millie hold their ground and don't go back to these guys. It's probably harder for them because they have to live with them. But it's been like a couple days. Like, no, I would really, if I was Kaz, I would really go full throttle with Matthew. I don't think she can win the game though. And I would be, if I was Millie, I'd be crossing my fingers that they send me another guy. That's her type. I don't know what Teddy was smoking when he made that comment. He was just trying to get canceled and have people like blow up his DMs with like threats. I mean, I don't want anybody to threaten him. Absolutely not. But like, it was just, the comment was not an intelligent comment coming from a critical mind. Like there was no thought going on what Kaz must have gone through in order for her to be acting that way. Like, shut up, Teddy. So we see Kaz and Matthew talking, and she is trying to let Matthew know that like there was obviously things that were going on, but she does still like him, that she is happy that they get to share a bed together tonight, and they do have a nice little kiss. He seems patient. He seems not wanting to push too hard. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll start seeing a spark between them, but I'm happy that he's there for her, that she didn't have to be single when he came back in, because I don't want him to have that power. I actually seen Clarice sitting with Kaz more than with Tyler. I don't think she cares about Tyler. I met her in real life, and she's very nonchalant. Lee, you've met her in real life. Tell us about that story. That's interesting. Are you in the same friend group, or just kind of like in passing? Like, what's the story there? Have you auditioned to be on Love Island? From your picture, you look gorgeous. I agree. Teddy was out of order. Apparently, Teddy moved up in the rankings of favorite to win. It's because of Faye, though. It's because of Faye. I don't know. I've noticed the guys at large don't seem to care about Kaz's emotion. It's rude. Like, even with them all kissing her in the Kiss Mary Pie challenge, like, that's also a little bit rude. It's like, oh, they're not threatened by her. They're not sexually attracted by her. They're not going to get into any trouble with their misses if they kiss her. And I think that's like, I don't think that's a very nice way to treat her at all. They're not treating her very well on this season. So I wish she even dragged him even more. Just drag Tyler. I can see that she just wanted to get into the villa, and now she's just going to chill until someone wants to come and come in or try to take Teddy. I mean, I hope she doesn't try to take Teddy. Now, can you guys remind me, was Teddy and Clarice's kiss inside of a challenge, or was it outside of a challenge? Like, how did that happen again? Because I just don't remember. So what happened next? Okay, so the Liam and Millie of it all. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So Millie is talking about like how the connection that they had wasn't enough for him. And he's trying to say like, well, you know, I needed to go over there to see other connections that I could possibly have. And now I know that you're the one. You're the only one. And she's like, I'm sorry, but I want you to know that I'm the only one without having to kiss any other girls. And he's like, my feelings have skyrocketed now. It's like, no, they skyrocketed because of the fact that she's not just immediately taking you back. Like, he just wanted to go and have his fun and go back home to his missus, and everything was going to be all good. He thought that he was in the clear. And when Lillie came over to show how shocked she was that she wasn't picked, his face straight out of his head, and he was like, oh shit. Like, what am I going to do here? Like, he had a problem. But she has no trust for him. And that's what the biggest point is that they were both in the same situation. They both know each other for the same amount of time. They both are claiming to have liked each other equally. And she was sleeping outside on a day bed, hoping that he would be faithful. And he was kissing another girl, seeing if like he has a better connection with the new girl than his old girl. It just doesn't work that way, Liam. It doesn't. I know that CASA AMOR is part of the show. I know that it's a challenge, or like, well, that was outside of a challenge, but I know that it's part of the season to have your relationship tested. But what if the actual test for you, Liam, was to do absolutely nothing? What if that was your test? That when you may find someone that's tempting, that you're like, you know what? No, what I have with Millie is so strong that it's going to stop me from wanting to explore somebody who I have a physical attraction to. A lot of people will throw in the argument that like human beings are not meant to be monogamous. Okay, fine. They're not meant to be monogamous, but they are beings that have moral and ethical standards. And if you are choosing to be in a relationship of some sort with a person and you are both agreeing that you are going to be monogamous or not see other people, and that's the terms of your relationship, then you are making a choice to stay monogamous. You're making a choice to uphold that for your partner. That is the agreement that you're making. So it's always a choice. Going against your nature is still a choice. You can choose whether you want to kiss someone. You can choose whether or not you want to sleep with someone. You can choose whether or not you want to cuddle with somebody. These are all choices that you can make in the moment. They may be hard choices, but they're choices that you can make. And he doesn't feel like he feels like him making those choices allowed him to see that, oh, he doesn't need to make those choices in the future. Well, what if there's another person that is equally as tempting, that's even more, that comes on to even stronger? Man, oh, I was just so frustrated with him. But then I'm also like, he's what, 21? So how can I be that mad? I can't really be that mad at him, right? Okay, so yes, they kissed her in the pie challenge because they know that their partners don't see her as a threat. Absolutely. Their kiss was in Truth or Dare game the guys made up the first night. Okay, so it was still a game. So the kiss in the pool was from Unaired Challenge. I think one of the postcards was from the Truth or Dare game that they played. Okay, I just couldn't remember like all the games because it doesn't look like it's in the challenge, like kind of setting, like around the fire pit or anything like that. But I couldn't remember the logistics of everybody. I'm so glad Millie didn't take him back. It feels like the girls usually take them back and get over it. She should not take him back. Not this time. Not this time. I know Liam is in the wrong, but I low-key kind of hoping she forgives him. He needs to cry in her face and beg for forgiveness. Sans, it would make me feel physically ill if she took him back. Like it would make me sick. It would really make me sick. Hi, King Cash. Do you guys think future guys at CASA AMOR will be less likely to take risks because of fear of production interference? No, I don't think so. Not on this show. Not on this show. I think that they will still do. Look at Toby. Come on. No, I mean, I love that. I love that interference, but like, maybe they'll have talks now with the girl being like, will you promise not to say anything like about what happens if like, you know, if the producers ask you to? So maybe we'll get those kind of conversations. So Liam wants the opportunity to try, and Millie kind of walks off and is not really having it at this point. Millie's talking to the girls and saying, like, I'm sleeping in my bed. He isn't sleeping anywhere near my bed. And so Liam makes a bed outside. He actually makes Lily's bed for her. So I thought that was, you know, a little bit of grafting that was happening, groveling that was happening. So that's good. You see in the bed, Toby cuddling Mary, and he has no regard for anybody's feelings. So he's cuddling Mary in bed, and Abigail is in the bathroom, and she just starts crying, and Faye goes over and hugs him, and she's like, she doesn't even have a bed while she's here. Like, where is she even going to sleep? I do feel a little bit bad for Abby, but it's beyond just desserts here because she really thought that she got him and he got her. Sorry, Abigail. So Liam's on the daybed, and in the morning, he's actually just looking at the postcard and he flings the postcard. Like, it's not the postcard that is the problem. It was your actions, Liam. Your actions were the problem. And if you guys stayed together and then she saw CASA AMOR after you guys were on the show, like, she would break up with you in a second. And I don't think that the audience would give you guys the money because they'd be pissed at you and you guys would get screwed over by the Twitter challenge. So, Liam, don't be blaming the postcard. Be blaming your actions. In the morning, though, there's so many Islanders right now. There's, like 16 Islanders in the house. Everybody's hugging everybody in the morning. I do like that they become a big family. That's one of my favorite things about reality shows in general is that, you meet people that you'd never meet in your entire life, most likely. And you're together to have this shared unique experience. So I love that about all of the Islanders, just like they're still going to all get along and they're still going to all hang out after. I love that. So the 6 people from CASA AMOR, they have a little powwow and they're like, all hands in for all CASA AMOR, well done. And so there's 6 of them that ended up staying. So I believe it was Amy, Mary, Clarice, and for the guys, Sam, Matthew, and Dale. So that's pretty good that 6 people were able to make it into the main villa, but I don't know if they're going to be making it much further. So Millie, Chloe, and Liam are having a little bit of a talk. Millie and Chloe are talking, and Liam kind of is interrupting and asking what's the plan for the day. And Chloe's like groveling with a side of groveling. Very funny, Chloe, but he does need to grovel more than he's ever thought he could possibly grovel. Teddy interrupts Sam and Faye to go and have a little bit of a chat. And they do talk, and it is the first time that he has said sorry to her. And so she's thankful that he's recognized that he had some wrongdoing. And Faye feels that she dealt with the kiss wrong, and she's starting to have regrets on how she reacted to the situation. And I'm happy that she's growing in the sense that she's not just completely shutting him off and wanting to be proud and prove that she's right. She's actually listening to him and being like, man, okay, maybe I jumped the gun, maybe I overreacted, and she's having a little bit of remorse, which I'm happy. That means growth for Faye. The CASA AMOR girls really annoyed me this episode. They were there and saw what happened. I don't even think that they would have told Millie the truth, considering how they were up Liam's backside. Oh, I was at a modeling event and Clarice was there too. She was actually quite sweet. Seems like the girl's girl and doesn't even overexert herself. She's also very small in person too. Oh, really? Small as in petite or small as in height? Because she looks like she'd be tall. She looks like she'd be 5'8". Did anyone actually hear Liam or Tyler apologize? I think for both of them, I'm sorry. It's like I'm sorry if you felt that way kind of apology. Not I'm sorry that I've hurt you. Or not I'm sorry that I told you a bunch of lies. None of that. Directly apologizing for their actions. I haven't heard that. Nope, and I hate it. I hate it too, Lee. I hate it as well. Liam did apologize, but like I said, he needed to have added tears. Well, I don't have to cry. They're ridiculous, just excuses. Yep. Oh, I saw someone on Instagram say that Liam just needs to cry and that will sway Millie. It probably will, and that's it's not a good look, Millie. People are not going to like that. I can see the CASA AMOR people pairing up. They need to get rid of some folks. That's true, actually. That's true, because they're probably going to have a dumping of 2 couples, I would say, or 2 guys and 2 girls. So the postcard was nice, but if you're going to bring the girls out, let them talk and give them one-on-one time. It's a little much interference for me. I mean, they used to send they send different things every year, and In Australia, I think they send video clips sometimes of like them kissing people or like them like snuggling or whatever. So I wish that they had done it both ways though. Like they could see what the girls were doing. But I guess that would create less drama. And they might feel bad, and so they won't continue to like be their boyish, laddish ways. But at the same time, if we go back to solely the OGs, we go back to having a dry season. True. In height, she's tiny. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so Millie gets a text. Millie gets a text to go and chat with Lily. Hashtag get the chat. So Millie and Lily do go over and they kind of clear the air. And she's like, I just want you to tell me the truth. Lily apologizes for hurting Millie with what she's going to be sharing. But she wants to give her the full story. And that's what Millie is asking for. She lets her know that it was 100% reciprocated. And if like the feelings were 50-50, he could even be more 60-40 with how much he was interested in her and how much he was pursuing her. And, you know, like the whole kissing on the date bed, he said 1 kiss. Lily now says it was 3 kisses. And she kind of explained the entire part of it, like how it all went down. She corroborated the fact that he did go and talk to the guys, but when you're talking to the guys, he was bragging about the kisses that he just had with Lily. She said like they did cuddle on the first night, and like he was trying to kind of pretending like he was sleeping, but really like he rolled over and put his arm on me. At some point he was like saying things like this is so hard, and he had to turn away because he didn't want to do anything that he didn't want to do. And so if I was Lily, I'd be like, this guy is so torn that it must mean that he's going to choose me, because it's like, if I'm able to get him this, like his head this scrambled, it must be because he's going to have to leave his original girl. So Lily, I thought that she was nice about how she dealt with it. I thought that she was considerate. I don't think that she was rude. And I thought that Millie handled what she was saying very well. She wasn't mean to Lily at all. So I actually like this interaction. And I think that this should be something that I actually think it's something they should do more often, because I do like seeing that Millie gets the full story instead of Liam getting to lie and her just getting to believe the lie because there's nobody that's going to tell her the truth. So I like that personally. I'm happy that Millie got the opportunity to talk to Lily, because Liam was blaming it all on Lily. I wonder if Lily was given a script or was able to watch it back. She was very detailed. I think that she probably was able to watch it back. That's what I would think. Because she did remember things quite like in order. And that just makes sense to me. I think she would have watched it back. So we see Liam talking to Chloe, and you know they're supposed to be best friends in the villa, and she's like, what's the real story? And Liam is like, I just think that you know Lily is going to tell her, like she's not going to tell her in a way that's going to make Millie happy, like you know she's not going to soften the blow, she's going to tell her in a bad way. And Chloe is like, she's going to be able to see all the cards. She's going to see your side of the story, she's going to see Lily's side of the story, and she's going to make her own educated decision. And that's a very fair assessment, is she'll be able to make an educated choice, educated decision. She'll be able to read between the lines what is true, what is not true, who she believes about what areas and who not. And so, sorry, Liam, you should have kept it together if this is what you actually wanted. But it's creating drama, so I'm here for it. Back to the conversation though with Millie and Lillie. One of the kisses that they had was kiss the girl that you fancied the most. And he had said sometimes that he wanted to give it a proper go. He wanted to make a go about it. And Millie was just confused, and so am I. Why did he come back to Millie if like they were so connected? Like that's where it doesn't make any sense. And Lily's like, I didn't understand that either. I really thought that he was going to choose me. And so they're both glad that they talked, and she has no bad blood with Lily. They hug at the end of it, and Millie walks back. When she comes back, she goes and grabs the girls and basically said, She doesn't deserve this. And she plans on ending it. She doesn't care for being treated this way. She doesn't deserve to be treated this way. I love Faye giving the middle finger, like to I don't know if it was to him directly, but just like in general, just like giving the middle finger. I'm like, yes, Faye. And Kaz was sitting with Liam and some of the CASA AMOR girls, and they called Kaz over to talk to Millie, and Liam is like, can you like say something nice, like soften the blow, like don't take it too make it too bad, Kaz. And it's like, oh wait, don't make her be like make you accountable for your actions, because like I called out Tyler, so you don't want me over there to be telling her to call you out. No, Liam, no. So Liam starts getting advice from the CASA AMOR girls, and then getting advice from Toby and Jake. And I'm like, when you're getting advice from Toby, like you know that your relationship is tanked. You can't be getting relationship advice from Toby. Not at all. So who wants fair? Who wants fair? Watching guys try to get away with it is part of the entertainment. Okay, fine. But like, I also don't really like seeing a woman look like pathetic because like the guy is able to lie so well. Like, I don't really like that. I think that I'd prefer him groveling and realizing that he was a jerk instead of being able to get away with it and then try to go and like when it's just like I don't want to see the woman look like she's being taken advantage of and look like a fool on national television for her kindness. How does Liam think that there's a good way to hear any of this? I think he just knows the smoke that Tyler received from Kaz, and so if she was joining the conversation, he was worried that some of that energy would rub off on Millie, and it would be more challenging for him to weasel his way back in. They should have brought her in the next day, give Liam a day to tell her the lies or the truth, and then drop the bomb. Okay, I can deal with that. I just wouldn't want the rest of the season him lying and we know the truth. And her just looking stupid. She'd be so embarrassed. It's mortifying. So in the nighttime, everybody's getting ready. We see Abby, Faye, Liberty, Jake, and Kaz. She was certain. Oh, like talking, and they're talking like the fact she was certain that he would be bringing her back, and so this is what was really upsetting to Millie. I'm just so frustrated though with Liam to not have realized in the moment. Like I know he was saying a lot of times, like, "Oh, I really like Millie. I'm thinking about her," and Lily even said, like, "Just I don't want to." I wanted to make it clear that he was still thinking about you at certain times, but at other times he just like he wasn't at all. So I'm happy that Lily was, I felt, quite honest in her recounting. So the next day though, Millie and Liam have a little talk and wait, oh, just, you know what? I'm lying. I'm confusing myself. I'm like, why am I talking about nighttime? But no, nighttime, getting ready for the evening, like the dancing, the night out, like the fun part, not bedtime, nighttime. And so we see Millie and Lillie talking, and he's like, you look good. And she's like, I don't feel good. Liam is listening to her recount what Lily was talking, and he's just kind of like smirking and smiling it off, like, oh, that's like, of course, that's how she said it. And I was actually really irritated by how he was facially reacting to what Millie was saying, because it just looked like he was a liar and he was about to start gaslighting her. And it made me angry. And talked about how Lily made it out to be way worse than it actually was. And so Millie feels like he reeled her in just to shit on her. Like he just also sold her a bunch of lies, sold her a bunch of promises, and then didn't really intend on holding up his end of the bargain here. And he doesn't really see what he did as wrong. And that's would be what I'd be so irritated by, and I wouldn't be able to forgive him, is because if he doesn't see why he shouldn't do something like this, then we can't move forward, because he would do it again. And I know that I would just take him back and forgive him. So I'm happy that Millie just kind of held her ground. I wish that she had asked him though, why did she think that you were 100% picking her? I want to know that answer. I wish she had asked him that. But he does ask Millie a question. He says, "Do you see a future with me or no?" And she says, "No." No, and she walks away, and we do see Hugo go over and hug Liam. It's like, Hugo, who? Like, Hugo made an appearance this episode. Wow. So Millie to the girls tells him, like, I called it off. She's talking to Kaz, Liberty, and Chloe. He's like, I don't see a future with him. I don't see it. And Liam is sulking over to the boys. But then we got the one nice scene this episode. Faye and Teddy are walking through the villa into the girls' area, and she goes and she gets his cologne that she had stolen from him when he was going to CASA AMOR, and she allows him to have a little bit of a spray, and she talks about how she's been spraying it on all the girls, and he's like, as long as it's not Sam, you can spray it on Sam, but she's like, no, and just like, I'm trying to waste it because I know it's expensive, and like, I was mad. So I thought it was a cute little moment because she gave him a little bit of a spritz because she loves the way that smells. And they talk about how they both missed each other. And she said that she was being a big twat. And they kissed. And they had a little bit of a playful kiss too. It seemed like she was apologizing, I felt, in that kiss. And I thought it was a sweet, tender moment from Miss Faye. And I was happy that it kind of went down that way. And then we see the mini preview of Toby's head may be turned. So that's pretty much it for this episode. It's actually a lot more went on than I was expecting. I can't believe we're almost at 3 p.m. Eastern already. Yeah, I saw the first look and laughed out loud. Like I said, Toby is a joke. He is a joke, Toby. I feel like Toby is not there to find love. He's there to see how many girls he can get. Probably. Hi, Dan. Thanks for joining us. Definitely. I haven't seen the full first look. But they showed that at the end. So I've seen just that little bit. And people have been talking about how Kaz is also going to be talking to Tyler, and he's going to be saying that he wants to explore things with both of them. I'm just like, get out of here, Tyler. Toby, you can be messy. This is fine. Tyler, I think that I don't like the game that you're playing. I think the way you're trying to manipulate Kaz is, I'm not here for it. I think that she needs to try to focus on Matthew, and hopefully they can still do well. So what I want to see next is the Jake exposure party. Expose Jake. I want to see Hugo dumped, and yeah, maybe Liam dumps. The Twitter game needs to come. So we need to like dump 4 Islanders and have the Twitter game happen. And I just need to see some more drama coming from the actions of the people at CASA AMOR. But I just leave Teddy and Faye alone, because Faye, it's just so hard for her to get over things. And so I want her and Teddy to work out at least for the rest of the show. So I love, yes, oh my God, you're so true. Tyler does just want to stay relevant. I've sent it to you on Instagram. Okay, thank you, Netha. Thank you. All right, everybody. So we're almost at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to hop on across the street to go talk to Tamika about the infuriating episode of Love Island USA. So you guys know the drill over here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I dealt my computer issues. But subscribe if you haven't already. Please like this video, ring the notification bell, so every day when I go live, you will be notified and you can come and join and hang out with me in the chat. And please comment on who you're liking this season. Has this not been the best 2 weeks of your life? Who do you want to be dumped? Which relationship do you want to win right now? And what do you think about Toby's head being turned back to Chloe? Tell me it all, and I'll see you across the street at 3 p.m. And I believe tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, we should be hanging out as well. Okay, talk to you soon. Love you guys.